Hi, I'm Ed from Wright, and here we're at the 2025 Equip Expo. And in front of us here is a prototype that's been put together by Hydrogear based on one of our existing chassis. And it's a very interesting machine from an engineering standpoint. It has some unique advantages. So let me walk you through what's going on here. First off, there's a battery back here that we'll characterize it as about maybe 30 minutes of runtime on that battery. And it has an electric wheel motor. So it's got a very torquey responsive drivetrain in it. And then the engine is not tied to a transmission like you normally have on a hydraulic mower. The engine is connected to the deck, and the deck also has electric blade motors. And so what's going on here is this would be a hybrid machine, but it's hybrid in the sense that it has a ton of power. So between the engine and the deck here, we're talking about the equivalent of about probably 50 plus horsepower that could be put to the ground when it's running both the electric and the engine together. And then when you're in lighter load conditions, these blade spindles will create a regen effect, or they'll create a charging effect back to the battery, and that's what's driving the wheel motors as well here. So it's interesting because you get on the machine and you can drive it by hand without the engine running, and as soon as you turn the blades on, initially when the battery's full, the engine doesn't come on, but as the battery comes down to a certain state of charge, it kicks in and brings the battery level back up. And once that battery level is high, the engine will cut off again. And with this machine here, you can select between, you want the engine to always run when the blades are on, you want them to automatically kick in, or you can force it into EV mode. And so that's where you might get on a smaller property and you want it to be quiet for just a couple minutes or maybe 30 minutes, and you can run it just with the engine off. And then the next job site, you've got up to that 50 horsepower, and you don't have to plug it in to charge it. I mean, certainly you could, but that's not the main point of the machine. So I'm going to get on the mower here and drive it around in a quick second. Like I said, this is a prototype and a concept machine involving a bunch of Hydrogear's mostly current technology to demonstrate what's possible and what's available, and to benchmark the performance of this type of equipment. Looking forward to seeing you here at the show. And wish you good luck for the rest of your fall, I guess. Just cut that off somewhere. You good?
Yeah.
All right, now we'll get some B-roll.
Yeah, do you want to give me that mic? I guess you could probably just leave it on.
Yeah, I'll leave it on.
Yeah, just leave it
Ready?
on. Just don't run over it.
Do you want me to talk while I'm doing it?
If you want.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to drive the machine here for a quick second. First, we turn on the key. It takes a second for it to initialize here. And then turn off the brake lever, which is really just an electric switch that locks out the controls. And here we can drive it electrically, right? Now on the dashboard here, I can select with the engine forced on. So if I turn the blades on, you'll hear the engine just kicked on. Here is just when it's only running with the electric wheel blades. And then shut it off. So you can run it in those three stages. The engine runs about 400 RPM slower than the engine would normally run on a hydrostatic machine, and that's part of what's increasing the fuel efficiency on this engine. So the engine runs kind of more in its sweet spot. But yeah, it's got electric drives, very responsive, and a ton of power in the deck.